Great. What a fantastic panel that was. I really hope you had a lot of takeaways. I certainly did. But moving on, and we are now in for a treat. Really, you're going to see, if you're from Latvia, you're certainly going to know him. He's appeared many times on national TV. He's kind of a celebrity here. But let me introduce the topic first. Looking into the everyday vulnerabilities that expose casual users to cyber threats, this session will be illuminating the path to a safer digital existence. It will allow you to discover the simple yet profound steps you can take shield yourself from the prying eyes of hackers who with minimal effort can disrupt your life. This session will be an invaluable guide for anyone, also for myself, that want to look to protect their digital footprint, providing the essentials of cybersecurity in an increasingly interconnected world.
Before I introduce the speaker, I wanted to give a heads up that we're assuming you're going to have questions. So tomorrow there's going to be a session with the speaker where you can ask any questions that you want. Today you will be able to find a QR code, follow a link, and then ask your questions already in preparation for tomorrow in case you have any. So, without further ado, welcome to the stage, Elviss Strazdiņš, the member of the board at Digitālās drošības centrs.
Welcome with applause.
Hello. Hello. I'm Elviss Strazdiņš. Yep. And probably some of you have seen me on the World Wide Web, and I talk about security a lot. My pockets are full because I have lots of phones with me, talking with scammers and going through all the scam schemas and trying to understand how they work. So why I am here? So there is a recent study that says that 60% of small to mid-sized companies go out of business during 6 months after the cyber attack. So here I know there are lots of startups here. It will be too late to go and consult about security after an attack because you will be probably out of business. So try to learn about security before the before the attack happens. I'll tell you about different attacks. All of them are from my experience. Lots of people call me or write me and send attacks they experience. So these are almost all of them are from my experience. Some of them are from foreign countries, and they show what the future looks here in our region. So one woman came to me and said that her mother and others friends are being scammed from her Facebook and WhatsApp, and they are being asked for money from her name, from her accounts. How? So she recycled her phone, and some fraudster pulled out her phone, guessed the PIN code, and unlocked the phone and had access to all of her social accounts. So he could write to all of the friends and ask for money, and some of them fell for that. So always think how you recycle your data, how you recycle the paper. Never just tear them, but shred them in some shredder, and it should be P6. So I have been in different companies that use P4, and I show them, here, look, I can read all the data from it, so it's useless. Use at least P6. There is one hospital in Latvia that told me their story. So they just recycled all the papers, all their patient data. And one homeless guy found out about that, and he found a lawyer, and they started to ask money for the data because that's crazy. And if this would come to some news or something, the reputational damage to that hospital would be fatal, and maybe even they could go out of business. I don't know. Another thing, so I have a box full of some nasty devices. And yeah, so for example, if you attach this flash memory to your computer, I can steal like all your data. The same with the cables, and you cannot tell them apart from original Apple cables. I gave this cable to one of my friends, and I said, "Can you tell it apart from the Apple cable?" He said, "Yeah, it looks like the quality is not the same." The trick was that I accidentally gave him the original Apple cable. So no, they are indistinguishable. And if somebody like goes to your company and drops this cable and you attach it to your computer, let me show you. So here is a computer. Let me unlock it. And now I just attach the cable. So it has a computer, Wi-Fi chip, memory inside of it. So I attach it. And boom, it downloads the virus, accepts and here it says, "This is Elviss Strazdiņš, and your computer has been hacked." And all the administration's security, everything bypassed by this cable. Another vulnerability is in your company, you should always have either a separate Wi-Fi for a separate router for your clients, or at least a separate network in your router. Because if client connects to your internal Wi-Fi, if you give him the password, and his device has some viruses or malware, it can start scanning all the devices in your network, in your office, and try to hack them. Even if your client is not a bad person, he doesn't know what's on his computer. So always think about who you give access to what. Booking.com is another thing. Probably some of you have received this kind of message. So you book a hotel in Booking.com, and then a few days after that, you receive a message, "Hey, there was a problem with your credit card, please enter your card details," stuff like that. And you do it, and they take money from you and disappear. How does this work? It looks like it's from the hotel that you booked. And the thing is, I will now tell you from the other side. So if you are an owner of a hotel, you should teach your administrators about cybersecurity. So how it works, this criminal, he books a hotel room in your hotel and then sends an email, "Hey, so there's a bus station. Is this the shortest path to your hotel?" And he sends this file, and the administrator opens it and replies, yeah, it's safe. But in reality, that was a virus, and it installed spyware on your computer. So they are now spying all the key presses, what you are typing, all the passwords, then hack your booking account. And there is this misconception. You think that when you get hacked, there'll be some sirens or somebody will call you, "Hey, you have been hacked." No, nothing like that. You could be hacked, and even for a year long, they can read all your messages, spy on you, and you will not even know this. So you have to be prepared for that. And you have to teach your employees about security. One thing, if you are an owner of a company that could be target of some attacks, you can enable lockdown mode on your iPhone or similar functionality on your Android device. So this disables lots of features that could be used to attack you. For example, you cannot open links from your messages, but it's not a problem. You should probably never do that anyway. If you want, you copy the link and open your browser and then paste. Also, the images will not be automatically loaded. There are some hackers that I have figured out their location just because they have this disabled. So I just send them an image that links to my server, and now I know when they open the message, the image is being loaded, and I get all the information about them. Another thing, one company came to me and their email got hacked, similarly to this, to the previous story, and they logged into their email, and scanned, like for a long period, scanned all their invoices. And then they deleted one pretty huge invoice and remade a copy of it, but changed the account number and sent it again. And they paid for it, and it was like 120,000 euros or something. And then they realized that actually when you transfer money, it doesn't matter what name you put in. It could be Microsoft and it could be my account or whatever whose account. It's not being checked. There are some banks that check that for internally. For example, if the name is not correct, if it doesn't correspond to the bank account number, then it will show you an error. But outside of the bank, there is no way how to check if the receiver is actually the owner of the account. So what I suggest is always using electronically signed invoices, only electronically signed, and use two-factor authentication. Always use it, and everywhere. And right now, if you don't use it, you have to, because one example was when Russia attacked Ukraine. One of their cyber attacks was against one hospital where employees at the hospital didn't use two-factor authentication. And they basically disabled the hospital, and people died. So it's not only your responsibility against your company to use two-factor authentication, but you also have to do it for security of our country. Another example, this is a foreign example in Slovakia. There was one politician, and there was a phone call leaked that he allegedly spoke to some journalist about how to buy votes. And that got leaked 3 days before the election. And he lost the election. And that all was deep fake. And what I'm going to with this, deep fakes is a reality in the future. It will affect our elections. It can be targeted against your company. And when we speak about deep fakes, it's AI, robots. We think that there are actually robots sitting at your computer and learning something. No, it looks like that. This is how I teach robots to do stuff for me, to teach others how they work. There was one other case in Hong Kong. So the guy from a company got called from his CEO, and the number was correct. So it's called caller ID spoofing. The number you see in your mobile phone, it doesn't mean anything. I can write anything there, like Microsoft, whatever. So you can receive a call from your CEO, and the guy on the other side of the phone sounds like your CEO. So everything's correct, right? So he asks his employee to transfer $25 million. He's like, no, we don't do that. That's against our policy. He said, okay, let's have a Zoom call with all our employees, our accountant and others. And so they had a phone call. Unfortunately, we don't have a picture, but this is how a phone call would probably look. And they're like, yeah, this looks right, this looks correct. Just transfer the money. Everything's clear. And he's like, okay, if everybody says that I should transfer the money, I will do it. So he did it. The thing is that let's imagine that this guy is a real one, and all the others are deep fakes. The voice, the video, everything. There is one case also in Latvia like that. They didn't scam the money. They tried. But there was I think, Italian politician. Deep fake video, voice, everything. And they were talking about partnership, about investment and stuff like that. And in the end, he realized that something's not right and didn't transfer the money. But attacks like that happen, and they'll happen more often in the future. Not everybody will have will experience these kinds of attacks, but probably some of you will. And in the end, I have a message from Eva here. Eva Elviss has something to say to you.
They announced Latvia's plans to increase its territory, building an island.
Let's try it again, because it's maybe you can turn the volume up.
They announced Latvia's plans to increase its territory, building an island out of all the lost socks from laundry days. The new island will be called Stockholm.
So, new island, Stockholm. I hope it will happen. This was Elviss Strazdiņš, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.